Well, in this video, which I have lost at least 2 videos prior to this with this started, I had forgot about these projects and set them up here behind my desk and forgot about them until I went to put my sled out on the front porch. I was going to clean up the front porch and put it out, and I thought, oh, those skates, I was going to put those, do those up and put them on there. And I got in here and got to looking, and I had 2 sets, or these 2 different crafts that I had cut up in the same day. I was out in the garage. Before I went out in the garage, I showed you where I downloaded a pattern. I just went on Google and Googled skate pattern and found one. I printed it off, and then I traced it on some thin board, as you can see. And I went out to my garage and I showed myself cutting them out. And I even had one explaining where I had to drill a hole in here, and I used my scroll saw, and I had to drill a hole and feed my scroll saw blade back up in there and attach it, and then cut each one of these out. I took my blade off and drilled those out 4 different times for the 2 here and 2 there. But I've looked everywhere on my phone, and I must have downloaded it with some other videos, but I went back through everything and I can't find it. It has to be somewhere. But once again, I've lost some video, and I totally forgot about these crafts. But anyways, this is what I'm going to be working on, is a set of skates to go on my sled for the front porch. And then I cut out these 3 pieces of board here that's going to be stacked. And you know what? Somewhere I've already cut the stuff out too. I remember doing that. And I'm pretty sure I had a video on that. But it's been a while back, and I've lost it. I'm going to have to go look around here and see if I can find the cutouts. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and get started on my skates. And I'm just going to paint them white. And I've already kind of done that with a pencil for the eyelets on the skates. And it'll probably show up after I paint. You'll still probably see it. So I'll probably go over it a little harder. So that way I can put those back on there. Figure out how I'm going to do those. But I'm going to paint the skates a white. And these are probably going to be a still looking. But I'm going to have to figure it out. I'm going to get my paints out and start painting. And this time, I'm going to finish both of these projects and have them ready and show you how I done it and post the video instead of losing it. All right, I'm going to get started. All right, I'm going to give these a coat of plaster, both of them, on the back and front, because the wind blows and it'll flip it over. And I'll be doing the heel in black. And then on the skate part, you know what, guys? I would put real skates on it if there was any such thing in Northwest Oklahoma. But we don't. I imagine in the city, there's probably a place you can go ice skating, but not around here. And that ice skates is, I have never laid eyes on a pair, to be truthful with y'all. Never. I've seen pictures of them. Wait a minute. I think my niece might have had a pair. I'm not sure. Anyways, I'm going to give these a coat of the plaster, the front and the back. Oh, my eyelets aren't showing up. I didn't hit it dark enough. I'll just have to redo them. I thought for sure they'd bleed through. And then the color I'm going to put on the skate part, I think, is called Rainy Day Gray. And that's, I got that at Anita's acrylic paint, and I'm pretty sure I got that at Hobby Lobby. I think that will work. Probably going to have to add some water into it and shake it up. But that's going to be my process now, but I'm not going to have you sit here and watch me go through painting all this. So I'm going to give these both a coat on the back side too, and I'll be back to show you what else I'm going to do. Not that I know right now, but we'll see. Well, I have my skate painted, and I'm trying to figure out how to decorate it, or not decorate, but make it appear to look real. I found some of these, what are they? Decorative nails, it says, are kind of like a thumbtack. I suppose you could use thumbtacks. But I took and cut the tips off of one to stick in there. And you have to make sure that you get it short enough that your tip doesn't come through the other side, because that would be sharp. And I just took a good pair of wire cutters. I need to get it short enough. Get that in there a little further in. And cut the tip off. And make sure I got that short enough. Yes, it's short enough. Now, I'm trying to figure out what to use. I guess I could just put the nails in and leave it, but I was trying to figure out if I couldn't push that down on there. Make it look like it has laces. I want to go this way. If I couldn't do that, and then put another nail and bring it down. But I don't know if that's really going to show, if maybe I shouldn't use just some jute. I think it would show up better. I think I'm going to use the jute just so it will show. Okay, I'm going to start right there like that. I'm going to pull this underneath that. Pull it down with my hammer, or hammer it down. To make it look like it's laced, I'm going to come back here with some glue. Hold that there for a second. Kind of run that over the top. Now, make this one come about probably right there. We'll do the same with that. And I'm using hot glue, but I think once I get it finished, I'll take some other kind of glue and put over the top of this, because it's going to be outside on my sled, and hot glue doesn't hold that well in heat and cool. Now let's bring it back up over here. I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just trying. I can always tear these all out if they don't look, if it doesn't look good. Now, let's see if that's, trying to push it down there just a little bit so I can, that looks good. Okay, come back around over here in my end frame where y'all can see what I'm doing. A little more than that. I didn't go too much. I might have went too far over. get another nail or brad nail or whatever it is. Okay, I'm going to continue on up this skate with these, working my way up and see how it looks, and then figure out what I'm going to do with this down here to make it look a little more realistic. All right, I finished getting it up there. So when I ended this, what I did, and tie that around, is I brought the jute on around and I pulled up a piece like that, and then I tacked it back here and cut it in two right up here at the top. And now I'm going to tie it in a knot and then a bow, because I don't want it coming undone. I think the jute shows up a little better. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that, and I am going to put a little, ouch, glue in my bow so it doesn't come undone. And now, I'm trying to figure out what to do. I think I want to give it some shading, which I should have done. Yes, I should have. I should have finished all the whole skate before I put those on, but I was so into trying to make it look like a skate that I didn't do it. Okay, I think I'm going to get my, I don't know. Let me think for just a little bit, and I'll come back and show you what I'm going to do, because I want to put a little darkness around it to give it a little more depth. Let me give this some thought, and I'll be back. Okay, I've decided I'm going to go over it with some clear wax. So then around the edges, I can take some of my Jolie brown wax. And I like to do this better than just going over it, because then it gets too, when it gets too dark, I can't wipe it back. Whoa, almost went in that. I'm having to go up on my jute because I didn't do it first. On the other one, I will do it first. I don't think I wanted it on that yet. Well, we'll see. Okay, I'm going to wipe that just a little bit. Now, I'm going to go over it some with the Jolie brown wax. And where is a spatula? I had a viewer that said she got some of this, and she said hers was clumpy and it wasn't good at all. And she was so excited to get it. Well, that's probably the best. I don't know if you can tell, but see, it's creamy. It's not clumpy. Not clumpy at all. The only problem I have had with this is sometimes when I put it on, it's like it's not mixed, and I'll get some red spots. But it is just as smooth and creamy. So I would say you had a bad batch. But anyways, we're going to go on with this. Get that off of there. I'm not going to waste it. Get me a paper towel, make sure I don't have too much on it. All right. See, this way I can kind of wipe it back if I think it's too heavy with that clear wax on it. Paper towel. Leave it on the edges, smear it back down. Yeah, I like the way that's looking. Okay. I'm gonna have to go down over those because I didn't do it before I put it on. Kind of coated my string too. That's okay. All right, I like that. It's better than just plain white. Now, I'll put this in a bag because I'm going to have to do another one, so I'm not going to wash my brush out quite yet. Put my lid on my wax. Now, to make this down here look a little more like metal, and actually when I started and I got the gray out, I thought I had some metallic silver. I do somewhere. I know I do, but I can't find it. It's not in with my paints. All right, I went and got some silver leaf rub and buff. I'll put that on there and see how that looks. Yeah, it's making it look more like metal. Yes, that's working. Looks good. Looks like metal on them. Okay, from here I'm going to go and do my other skate, and I'm going to put the wax on it and the dark first, and then the eyelets and the laces. But I was so worried about getting something there to make it look realistic that I got, what you say, the cart ahead of the horse or something like that. That's what my mama used to say. Alright guys, I think that looks good. And I think that's going to look good on my sled. Of course, I'm going to have to figure out how I'm putting it on there and something to go above it to make it look cute. But first off, I've got to finish this one now. But there's the one finished and the one that I've just painted. I think it looks really cute. Alright, I did all the wax and the rub and buff before I'm putting my little nail heads on. Now I'm going to do that and work on my bow. Let me turn you around here. This is what I'm putting it on. Don't look at my room because I have 100 different projects going. But this is my sled. And that string, I'm going to have to find, or that rope, I'm going to have to find some more rope because that's the original rope, and I'm telling you, it's rotten. But I need to make a bow or something to go up there, and I'll leave this on there, fluff it up, and put my skates on. And then it looks like I need to replace a pine cone. It looks like it's had it. And it'll be ready to go out on my porch, and hopefully tomorrow it warms up enough to where I can clean up my porch and get it out there. I have debated whether to go ahead and repaint this red, but I hate to take away from the way it originally was, so far I've held off on doing that. But I'll get this finished and get it out on my front porch. Okay. Well, I decided it needs a bow, so I'm taking the Easy Bow Maker, and I'm going to put it right at 4 inches. I'm going to pull that one out that way. I don't know how much of this I have left. Let's see. It's about a 4 inch. I'll pull that way. I'm not the best at making bows. Okay, there's a 4 inch. Pull that way. Now I'm going to make one coming this way. Okay, and I'm back this way, 4 inch. Pull that way. And then leave enough room for, and I didn't put a string under that to tie it off with. I always forget to do that. Well, come on. Okay. Oh, I wished I had made my string, or had my string ready. I'm going to have to find something. I'll be right back. Set that aside. Oh, I let go of it. Get that in the middle. No, it went off to one side. Make sure. Okay, that looks good. Tie that in a knot. All right, that is fine. It will do. And I cut that one off shorter. All right, and I wanted to show you, I decided on my skates, they needed the black sole. So the last minute I put that on there, and I've glued them together and let them set for a while. And I just used, what did I use? The Fabri-Tac, because it works on wood too. But I just touched them together right there with some wood glue and clamped it and let it set. Now, I guess I'm ready. I've got to figure out how I'm going to attach this to my sled. I don't know whether I'm going to put a hanger back here and let or go through it with some rope. I need to figure that out. And I have this ready. So I'm going to put this on my sled, and I'll show you what I've done and how it turned out. All right, before I put this on my sled, I wanted to show you how I put a hanger on it. I took a D-ring that I had, and at first I put the, let's see, I put the Fabri-Tac on it, pretty heavy, and then on the bottom side I put the hot glue, put it on there, let it dry a little bit, and then I went over it with hot glue just to ensure that it's on, but it also has the Fabri-Tac, so that should hold. Boy, I'm coming down with something. I don't do that very often. Anyways, I need to I'll get my jute and run a string up through there and tie it onto my sled. And I did add some bells to the greenery on the sled. So I'm going to attach this now, and it should be finished. Now I have started on my blocks, and these are 2x2s, and the longest one is 8 inches, and the next one is 6 1/4, and then this is just a 2x4, and I have it at about 3 1/4 that way. But I did find my stencils, and the crow will go on one, primitive will go on one, and Christmas will go on one, and they'll stack. This here, I'm going to do the Waverly also on it, and then I'm not sure what color I'll use with this, maybe kind of a gold, yeah, probably a goldish color, and then red on this here. And then I'll stencil these all in. I don't know, I know this will probably be white, not sure. Anyways, that's further down the line a little bit, so I'm going to continue on, and now I'll give this a coat of the Waverly and let them dry and start painting the face of those. Now that I have these stained and they're dried well, I think I'm going to put the Golden Sunset on that top one, and this is Folk Art Clover and Tuscan Red by Apple Barrel on this one. No, wait. No. I'm going to go this way. Like that. I don't know if y'all can see. I may have it out. Yeah, I'm going to go the Golden Sunset on the top one, and the Clover on the middle one, and Tuscan Red on the bottom one. So I'm going to set these aside and get started painting. On that. And I'm just going to do the fronts of them. And I can tell that's going to need several coats. And then I'll probably go and distress them. Okay, set that aside. And now for the Clover. Well, I'm going to have to take the top off of that, I think. That's a pretty color on this wood. Okay. Set that right there. Going fast enough, my brushes aren't going to dry out, hopefully. was hoping for more of a little more red, but that's okay. All right, that's the colors I'm going to do. I'm going to get something and put my brushes in a baggie or something so they won't dry out. I'm going to hit these with the glue gun, not a glue gun, the heat gun, and go over them again. All right, here's the colors I have now. And I'm going to take these out to the garage and hit them with my sander. I have some sandpaper in here, but it'll just be much faster to hit it with my sander and kind of distress it some. And then I'll start doing my stenciling on the blocks. All right, I have my stencils on. And it's ready to be stenciled. And as soon as they're stenciled, I might go over the images with a little bit of sandpaper. I'm not sure. And they'll be finished. And I'll add them to my Christmas decor. All I'm going to do is stencil this on there. I'm using a makeup sponge as usual. And I'm going to do the black for the crow, of course. That's what I'm doing. And probably black for the primitive and white for Christmas. On the Christmas. Alright, I'm going to finish them up. Well, I have them finished except for putting something on the crow. I did go over them real lightly with a real fine sandpaper. And then after I done that, I went over it with some clear wax. And now I'm going to glue this little twig out of off his beak. Right there. I may clip that little piece off right there. I'm not sure. Needs a little more glue. Hang on to that for a minute. Now, let's see. Where do I want to put this? Boy, I wonder if I could use my tweezers. Maybe about right there. Put some glue on it right there. Alright, I have that finished. Now, I've got to go find somewhere to put it. That's what it turned out looking like. As a really simple project. And I think it turned out cute. So guys, until the next one, we'll see you later.